Well, he attack me. But Jaden Chase, they have to make the fans them know what really are going on.
Yeah, man, now move settings nation. And we no need no ladder. Yeah, man, Jaden Chase and now wanna we go bring on another reason for the topic of current affairs. So if you're new to the channel, just a pass through. But you don't like the reason and of course you don't like the point of view, well, I'm suggesting to you that you click the subscribe icon and then kick in the like button. Now let's get right into the reasoning. Now, nation, senior members of the office of the DPP have blasted Andrew Holness for the policies being put in place that they say favor the ruling elite and their overseas masters. The office is saying these new protocols being put in place by the Andrew Holness-led administration reflect the days of colonial rule. The DPP second in command was quoted as saying the reality is that Jamaica is still dominated by elements of class, color and wealth. And he said this can be seen in the way members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force have enforced the Disaster Risk Management Act. We have all seen the footages on social media with big parties being held in these quote-unquote uptown townhouses, and we have seen the heavy police presence in inner city communities. The office said the measures and the way they are enforced in this country by police is that there's a different stick for some versus a different stick for others. He pointed to recent events being held. Many persons have also shared similar views, citing recent staging of parties and party series such as Dream Weekend, Mocha Fest and others, which based on events that took place in the media. Protocols were reportedly not strictly enforced by police in comparisons to different events where tourists were not being catered to. Persons with perceived class, color and wealth are influential and powerful in this country, and they tend to have an attitude that they are born to rule, he asserted, adding that the country is not far removed from the plantation mentality. Now, nation, this speech was given at an award ceremony for high achievers at the Kitsiltown Primary School in St. Catherine. Now, this message was delivered to the entire country via the live Facebook broadcast, but also directly to students. The office pointed to them that education is the key and that they should think about their place in the world and not just in Jamaica. One thing for sure, people from all walks of life are now voicing their opinions and critiquing the way the Andrew Holness-led administration is running the country. From me say, the security forces are forward out and a blast the government. I said the protocols being put in place were not calculated. They never consider citizens. They never consider citizens' safety. They never consider the security forces and how they were going to do their jobs and even get to and from these police stations, and all of them have care. The JDF have long said, why are soldiers deployed in the streets if they are only to sit on the corners and look? Some have said the only thing missing are just them out there about them and miggle. They have turned the soldiers into corner man. Man just a watch the road. And these are the opinions of JDF members. Nurses, when you hear the voice note there, nurses have found out and say protocols being put in place directly by Ministry of Health are causing lives at hospitals nationwide. Now the justice system, the prosecutors have found out and I say, yo, these laws, whether they be temporary or not, are still in favor of a certain ruling elite and their overseas masters. These things are as Rasta would have said, oppressing the people. The Commissioner of Police recently said that he had to instruct police personnel that crime and violence is still their primary concern, despite all the new Disaster Risk Management Act protocols being put in place by the government, and the fact that police officers, not JDF soldiers, but police officers are the ones responsible for enforcing all of these new laws and protocols put in place. And at one point in time, they were put in primary concern. And how we know that? The fact that the police commissioner had to instruct them that crime and violence is still their main concern. He wouldn't need to tell them that this was something that was known. It was because the government was saying that this is the biggest problem right here on the island, and we need to tackle this first and foremost before we even tackle crime. No, the citizens are saying this cannot be so. This cannot be the mentality. Crime and violence is a big concern to every citizen. The few citizens not concerned about crime and violence must be the same ruling elite that the office of the DPP is speaking of. Those with class, color, and wealth. But definitely want to hear from the people in the comment section. This is definitely a serious issue will take place. And with the fact that the opening of schools are fast, not approaching, but past. School should have been open already, and there are no talks. And when school I got open, people have even forgot that I would have run about this time schools would have start, because the promises made by the current administration now seem very far-fetched. Even when talk was being made that face-to-face schools were to be reopened, the numbers were already being calculated, and then did already expect what is taking place now as based on their statistics to take place. But yet still there was promise of face-to-face schools, or face-to-face classes at schools rather, knowing very well that statistically, without reaching that 65% mark, there was no way the Ministry of Health would have okayed face-to-face classes. I won't say 65%, we mean 65% for each individual school. And with the fact that many students are still in communities, are in situations where them can't do no online classes or any online schooling. Education is the key, but clearly it is now inaccessible to many. Now, as I have always stated, what is taking place worldwide is of course major concern, because it is a worldwide issue as presented by the media, and we see it take place, and with the healthcare system and with the protocols being put in place in all different countries. We see that this is a very real issue. It's not just an issue where elected officials come on TV and talk about. It is very real in the protocols that they have put in place, the travel restrictions that are now being put in place, and things of that nature. Very, very real. But the way it is being handled, our people are talking about. How they might go about it. You have to find different solutions. And the reason being, the ones put in place haven't worked. So if you are the people must say, yeah, we're trying. Yes. If we not say we not try, we not come as a call on a liar. We are pointing to the fact that they have not worked. You have to circle the drawing board again. And when you now make and put out these protocols, you need to consider the people, not just uno and the numbers. But I see the one called Jaden Chase, the answer correspondent, the guys representative. I'm reminding them now, if you're new to the channel, new to the movement, just a pass through. But you don't like the reason, and of course you don't like the point of view, well, I'm suggesting to you that you click the subscribe icon and then the bell icon and put it on all. And this is how you know will be notified of all fresh content as soon as fresh content is uploaded and made available for you right here upon the platform. The like icon is also in close proximity. Drop a like and bust a share. Tell a friend, tell them sister and them brother them. Check out the channel, check out the reason during the discussion. Comment section on me 24/7, never lucky yet. Just be respectful and mindful of the guidelines. But other than that, drop your thoughts and comments and yes, your opinions there, and we can continue the reasoning via the comment section. You know there's something going for those who don't. My sentiments for you and yours are for you to live, love, and yes, prosper until we reason again. Remember to share and drop in a like, drop in a comment.